And there you have 9 in 90, and just like that, we're ready to kick off. Clemson has won the toss and has deferred. So Alex Spence will be kicking off, and keep an eye on number 10, Sean Riley, who a year ago led the nation in kickoff return yards. See, in fact, if Clemson kicks away from him, he averages almost 28 yards a pop. This one is underway. Toe has met leather. And it will be Riley running up on a short kick at around the 8-yard line. Gets a couple of good blocks, and Riley, you can see, is shifty and fast, and he gets out to the 33-yard line. Let's get more from Jen Latta about the health of Clemson quarterback Kelly Bryant. Will he go tonight?
Well, Kelly Bryant was dealing with an ankle injury, guys, from last week's game. I watched him during warm-ups. He was mobile, putting pressure on that left foot, showing Syracuse as he was dancing and moving around out there. He is good to go tonight.
Jen, thank you very much. And we await this Clemson offense being brought out by the junior from Oregon, Eric Dungy. So it's a battle of number 2s at quarterback tonight. Bryant for the Tigers, and for the Orange, it'll be Dungy, who needs one more rushing touchdown to break a record co-held by Bill Hurley and Donovan McNabb. 20 rushing touchdowns for the Qs. And we have whistles.
Delay game offense. 5-yard penalty, touchdown.
You don't see that very often. And Nino Babers reacting to that. What do you mean? Read his lips. They were a little slow coming out.
Yeah, and as a head coach, I wanted the official to say, come on, coach, speed him up. Let's get him out there. We shouldn't start a game with a delay penalty.
Tailback Bo Neal checks out of the backfield, so an empty set here for Dungy on first down. He is going to have to scramble against that big front. He's got some room to run, though. Dungy will have a first down, and he'll get outside the 40 to the 44-yard line. Kendall Joseph, 21 yards, unable to do anything there. Missed him, and Dungy, and here goes the Syracuse speed. Neal stays in, he'll get the carry, and he'll pop through into the second level, and he'll have a first down following an 11-yard pickup.
They want to go fast enough to keep Clemson from being able to get their call in and line up.
So you think Brent Venables is active on the sideline for Clemson in a normal game with the pace that he's going to have to get those defensive calls in? Going to be interesting to watch this battle. Fake to Neal. Going to go for Ishmael. He is pretty well covered by Mark Fields, and he had it in his hands and could not hang on. It'll be second down and 10.
And Steve Ishmael's 6'2", so he's a tall guy that they like to match up with smaller corners. He's very physical. That's normally a ball he would win in a 50-50 jump.
And for the first time, Syracuse takes a breath. Another empty backfield here, and now Neal pops out of there, and he will stay next to Dungy for the moment. He stays in to block. Pressure coming in from the outside. This Clemson front is a good one. Dungy's going to run again, and he will be hit short of the first down, but he picked up about 8. Dorian O'Daniel, number 6 for Clemson, who's having an outstanding season at linebacker, stopped him after an 8-yard gain.
And Dungy has the second most rushing yards of any quarterback in Power 5, so he's going to have to use his feet tonight to stay away from that rush.
He's had to scramble twice. He's going to be chased outside again. He's going to tuck, and he's going to run, and he's going to get the first down. Tanner Muse, number 19, came over, could not get there in time. Dungy's got speed, and it's going to be a first down for the Orange.
Clemson secondary loves number 19, Tanner Muse. This guy's big. He's 6'2", 225. He came all the way across the field to knock Dungy out of bounds.
It's time to hand off for Neal. He'll break right, and he'll break into the Clemson defense, but not until he gets 7, maybe 8 yards. Van Smith and Fields in there on the stop for the Tigers. Syracuse right now, chunks of yards.
Yeah, this is not what Dabo Swinney wanted as the start. You go on the road, get a 3 and out. You've got this high-powered offense, and you're letting them move it down the field at will.
51 yards on the ground and 6 carries. Dante Strickland is now the tailback, number 4. And Sean Riley is checked in, the slot receiver. This is Strickland. And Strickland running hard and tough, bowling over Kendall Joseph and getting a first down.
It's the first play that Strickland's been in there. Strickland's a big 210-pound guy that powers right over Joseph.
Oh, Dungy's zone read that time was read better than he. Number 99, Cleveland Farrell just stuffed that for a loss of 5. Second down and 15 coming up.
And here's where Syracuse has had trouble in the red zone scoring touchdowns. They've had to take field goals. They're going to have to score touchdowns tonight, probably using Dungy's legs to win this game.
You expect a lot of going for it on fourth downs?
Absolutely.
Time for Dungy here. He wanted to go to the end zone. Ishmael is covered. He actually went out of bounds, so he's not eligible, and Dungy does the right thing and just throws it away. Third and 15 coming up.
And if you're the head coach here, who is the play caller, Dino Babers, you're trying to get at least half of this back so you can have a fourth down and 4 or 5 if you're going to go for fourth down.
They do have a steady kicker in Cole Murphy if they need him. Made 10 field goals already. Strickland stays in. He's had coming up to 300 touches without ever putting the ball on the ground. Screen pass here. He'll get one. And he stays alive, and he's got room to the 10. One man to beat. He'll do it. Touchdown, Syracuse. There is a flag down by the E in orange in the end zone. It might be a celebration penalty.
There's a touchdown on the play. After the play, unsportsmanlike, number 4, offense. That's number 4's first unsportsmanlike in the game.
That is Strickland hit with that penalty.
Yeah, you can see Coach Babers is talking to him. Huge mistake, because you do not want to start giving hidden yards away to Clemson on the kickoff.
So Cole Murphy will come on for the PAT. The penalty to be enforced on the kick. That means they'll be kicking from their 20-yard line, not the 35. But it's a 10-play, 72-yard drive in 3 minutes and 16 seconds and a 23-yard touchdown pass. Dungy to Strickland, his second receiving touchdown on the season. Dungy's 10th. Perfect start for the Orange.
This is a perfect start, Dave. They blitz from the field. They've got the screen into it. You have a missed tackle by Fields. Strickland takes it right down for the score. Syracuse all over it on the first drive.
You're watching Dos Equis Tailgate Week.
Well, a fast start for Syracuse, 7-0. The Tigers about to get the ball and very possibly in good field position after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Cuse, leaving it a kickoff from the 20-yard line for Murphy. And you've got Etienne and Feaster back there, 2 speedsters. This is Etienne at the 13. You can see how quickly he goes to top speed. He'll get out to the 38-yard line. That's great field position for the junior from Calhoun Falls, South Carolina, Jordan Martin there on the stop. That's another number 2 who made the tackle, and now here comes number 2, Kelly Bryant. 97 rushes on the year. He's coming off of a game where he didn't finish against Wake Forest after tweaking an ankle to back. The coaches told us he practiced all week and he's ready to go. Blitz picked up. Bryant throws quickly, caught by Kane at the 44-yard line. Let's see if they mark him there. That'll be a 6-yard pickup.
The Syracuse defense is going to use some zone blitz early so they can keep receivers in front of them, but also put pressure on the run. Good opening call for Clemson.
Feaster is the tailback, number 28. Fake to him, quick throw, Renfro. He's open and he's got a first down. Renfro, and it's a catch on second down. That doesn't happen very often with Hunter Renfro. He's their third down guy.
Now this is perfect. They take the run up inside. It pulls the outside backer away. Renfro's wide open for an easy catch.
Guess who else is playing at a high tempo pace right now? That's Clemson's offense, and that's going to be wandering into the backfield. 95, Chris Slick.
Offside defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Good job by Clemson's quarterback Kelly changing up the snap count to get Slayton to pull up a little early in offsides.
So first down and 5, and already now at the Syracuse 37-yard line.
All Syracuse's defense talked about was stopping the run, stopping the run. Clemson started with 2 passes.
Now the handoff to Feaster, and he gets through. Feaster! Easy trip to the end zone. 7-6 the score. And when Deion Kane jumped into him, Mac, that's the first time Feaster was touched on that play.
Absolutely. You've got a 220-pound track star out of high school. 100 and 200-pound meters. You've got a 100 and 200-pound guy running 100 and 200-meter dash. He's that fast. And this offensive line's the best Dabo Swinney's had at Clemson. They play 8 guys. They rotate them. 4 starters back from last year. That's a great opening drive for Clemson to answer.
You want fast? How about a 3-play drive in 67 seconds for Clemson, 62 yards.
This is power football. Knock them out. I could run through that whole day. And I couldn't have the speed that Feaster's got when he turns up to score.
Great fun here in Syracuse, outside the dome before the game and inside. A frantic start with both teams scoring touchdowns on their opening drives. Trying to kick away from Riley, but instead they kick it over him. And it'll be a touchback, and Eric Dungey and his offense will take over at the 25-yard line. So we've talked already extensively, Mac, about Syracuse and the time between plays, and this is what they've done so far.
Yeah, they've talked about wanting to run 100 plays a game. They've been in the 90s quite often. I said, how many do you run and you usually lose? They said 80. And you can see 79 here against Central Michigan. They still won, but these guys are going to go really fast. They had the perfect drive to start the game. Clemson's defense has got to pick it up.
So just a hair under 20 seconds between plays on that opening drive. Dante Strickland is the tailback. He has the touchdown for Syracuse. They run a jet sweep, and now it's a fake. They look like they might want to go back to Dungey. That's Devin C. Butler who will throw it, and it is broken up. It was nearly intercepted by Cleveland Farrell. You talk about a zone blitz, Mac. Your defensive end was at the 50-yard line, and he almost caught that pass.
And this guy's 6'5", 260, but he read it perfectly, and he turned and followed Dungey on the throwback to the quarterback. This is a very well-coached defense. That was a trick play that could have been an easy walk-in. It was covered like a blanket.
So 2nd and 10 after all that excitement. Now a more conventional play with Strickland into the middle of that really strong Clemson front 4. And he'll fight to the 28 to gain 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7. And that time Dexter Lawrence and O'Daniel in there on the stop.
And it may take Clemson's defense a little time to adjust to this speed because it's very hard for Clemson to simulate this offense in practice during the week.
Clemson 28% allowed on 3rd down coming into the game, but they've given up 2 and 2 tries so far. Pressure on Dungey. They're going to stop him here. Austin Bryant, number 7. O'Daniel, number 6. Just too many white and orange jerseys.
This is the exact same blitz that Clemson brought when they caught him in the screen. 23rd sack by this defense. They're bringing the safety from the field, and they were fighting to see who got there first. That's why, that's why Syracuse's offense has got to stay ahead of the chains. They can't win on 3rd down and long because they can't protect those big guys up front from Clemson.
So in now, Sterling Hoffrichter, punter. He's a good one. Ray McLeod is back to receive. He's a good one. That's a high kick. McLeod, fair catch. And he'll make it to the 37-yard line. So that's about where Clemson started last time, and they went right down the field to score. Well, tomorrow it's the 112th Red River Showdown. Baker Mayfield and number 12 Oklahoma taking on Texas at the Cotton Bowl. The Sooners are the Big 12's best in total offense, and the Horns are top in total D. 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Some of us have not been to the Red River Shootout. Some of us have been there a lot.
Well, and I love to get a bath while I was there. It was always hot. That was 4 years ago this afternoon. That was a fun memory. Should be a great one tomorrow.
Kelly Bryant, second series, finds a receiver at the 40-yard line and over to the 42-yard line. A catch made by Mylan Richards, who had a key block on that touchdown run, and Richard picks up 5. That's his 10th catch of the year. You know who his uncle is? Herschel Walker is his uncle.
Yeah, he's pretty good genes.
Yeah. Rolling left, Bryant, wide open, Renfro sliding, catch, first down, 42-yard line. Martin is in coverage.
Notice Clemson's only had 1 run tonight so far because Syracuse is crowding the line of scrimmage with so many defensive players.
Bryant has a pocket, throws, caught. That's Richard again. That's going to be a first down at around the 20, maybe even inside the 20-yard line.
It's unusual to have a 6'2", 255-pound tight end who is a mismatch with the linebackers inside. And if there's any question about Kelly Bryant's ankle being well enough to follow through and throw the ball, I think we got our answer right there on a perfect throw.
That was a terrific throw, a 19-yard pickup for the Tigers, who moved into the red zone very quickly. Back to the ground, Feaster. This time the Cuse defense stiffs him. That should be no gain on the play. Second down and 10 coming up. Zaire Franklin, number 4, one of 2 really good linebackers, along with number 30, Paris Bennett. Franklin, an emotional leader for this Orange team.
Ryan Ward, the defensive coordinator at Syracuse, said we're going to stop the run and we're going to make Kelly Bryant beat us with his arm. So far, that's the defense they're playing.
Well, Bryant's 5 for 5 back for 64 yards. Throw out here, looking to Ray McLeod. Ray did not get it, dropped the ball, and recovered very quickly. Hunter Renfro fell on it back at the line of scrimmage. McLeod had it knocked out of his hand by Jordan Martin.
Very alert by Renfro, ball knocked out. McLeod has got to protect the ball. You've got to have your running game on the road. You got to play defense on the road. You cannot have turnovers when you take your team on the road to win. Third down has been Renfro's ball. Let's see where Kelly Bryant goes with this ball. Renfro's in the slot to the top.
Pressure on Bryant. He will elude it and get the pass off. It won't be anywhere near a first down. Trevion Thompson paid for the price of catching that ball, but what a great play by Bryant to avoid the sack and make the field goal for Alex Spence a little bit easier.
Paris Bennett, number 30, is one of the tougher players on the field tonight, and he made a great field tackle.
Bennett has had a run of great games, Mac. 3 straight games with 10-plus tackles. Now, Alex Spence, who's 1 for 3 since taking over for Greg Hugel. This from 35. Ooh, that looked ugly. The snap was a little high. The holder is the coach's son, Will Sweeney. And Clemson is unable to put points on the board as the Syracuse defense rose up. So Syracuse holds. And the last time Clemson gave up a touchdown on an opening drive, they lost. That was that shocking loss in Death Valley when they lost to Pitt. Of course, in the end, it all worked out for the Tigers, but still, that one shook through college football. We're not saying that's going to happen tonight, but it is an interesting thing to keep an eye on. Dante Strickland in at tailback. Dungy will fire into traffic, catch out to the 34-yard line. First down for the Orange. Steve Ishmael with a catch and a 14-yard pickup.
Fans know Ishmael is leading the country with 56, now 57 receptions.
Leads at yards also. He now has 743 yards out of North Miami Beach. fake to Strickland. Popped over there, wide open. This is Irvin Phillips, and nobody's going to catch him. It's an easy touchdown for Syracuse. 66 yards. Phillips' third touchdown of the season. Mac, I'm going to go ahead and assume that was a blown coverage.
It was. You start looking at Ryan Carter, number 31. He got confused. And there were too many people standing flat-footed, and they ran right by him. This is not the start that Dabo Swinney and Brent Venables wanted. So you can see it's a drop-back pass. They've got good protection. He slides right inside, and there's no high safety. So it is just a bust and an easy touchdown throw. But when you go on the road as a head coach, don't let the opposing team get excited, especially when you're a huge favorite. And tonight, Syracuse has taken the lead and got everybody in this building thinking they have a chance to win.
Well, after the field goal was missed, Clemson had gone 7 plays, looked really sharp till near the end of that drive, and they couldn't get any points. This drive lasted 39 seconds, 80 yards, 2 plays. Syracuse has not beaten a top 2 team since last century, 33 years ago. We have a long way to go here. See if they try to kick it away from ETN, who's standing back at the goal line. They're going to drive him deep, or not even a guy that. Oh, yes, he is going to take it out. ETN saw a hole up the middle, and he'll get outside all the way to the 29-yard line. A daring attempt by ETN.
Look at Clemson. You can see their secondary. The middle of the field is wide open. Someone is responsible for that. It's probably the safety to this side. He had to get back to the hash. But you can see he widens. It's man-to-man. There's just an absolute busted coverage because it's zone on the backside to the right and man-to-man on the left, and someone let the receiver go free.
ETN is the tailback. He'll get the carry now, and he'll be brought down after a 1-yard pickup. Coming in from the backside was the Sam linebacker, Jonathan Thomas, number 23. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And if you're Clemson's offense, you've got to answer now because you do not want your defense on the field too much and get worn down in that 4th quarter with this tempo offense of Syracuse.
Bryant, a little bit of a high throw. Kane with a catch right at the mark. And based on where the line judge is standing, it's either a first down or they're inches away. And it is a first down. Frederick in coverage that time. So Bryant, by the way, 8 for 8 for 75.
Yeah, very impressed with Kelly Bryant's passing, but noticed we haven't seen him with a design run tonight. So they're probably going to try to take care of that ankle as much as they can.
I mentioned that he's the team's leading rusher coming into the game, and he also has had 97 carries through the first 6 games. None tonight. Pressure. ETN, look out. He is super fast. And ETN gets 9. It'll be 2nd down and a yard to go. Rodney Williams in there on the stop.
Syracuse with a zone run blitz on 1st down. And Paris Bennett ran right by ATN as he turned up for the 1st down. Got to keep your head up when you're coming on the blitz.
Bryant. He's going to take off here. And kind of a tentative run, it looked, at least to me, before Paris Bennett gleefully shoved him out of bounds. I think he's short of the 1st down.
Well, that play was obvious that Kelly Bryant's not 100%. He was being very careful with his ankle as he was sprinting to the right. So you'll see the Clemson coaches try to take care of him tonight from a running standpoint.
They need a yard.
I say they go with their big back up inside against that big offensive line. Power football.
Following the tight end, Etienne goes into the pile, and he'll actually lose about a half a yard. Now, on 4th down and a yard and a half to go, are you playing field position, or are you going to go for the play for the first down?
What you look at now is you're probably going to punt the ball, or it's a great opportunity to fake the punt because Syracuse is excited, the building's excited. You don't want to give them the ball back here. You'd like to play defense. But as much as Dabo Swinney likes to fake, I would definitely be alert for the fake with a 4th down and 1 at midfield.
Spears is the punter. And he's going to rugby it. This is going to roll a lot. And finally dies at the 7-yard line, 46 yards. Not very much hang time, but a lot of time rolling on the ground. The ESPN app is fans' best friend. Stream every ESPN and ABC college football game live at home or on the go. You'll get access to scores, news, and highlights all season long. You can download the ESPN app and start streaming right now. It's Friday night. I'm sure we got folks sneaking a peek at this game somewhere that's not at home. This will be the poorest starting position for either team in this first quarter, but Syracuse has the 7-point lead. Dungey so far, 123 total yards, 103 in the air. Strickland will stay in, number 4 at the tailback position. We haven't seen big Chris Elmore yet, number 36 for the Orange. Dungey's going to take off, and O'Daniel just wrapped him right up. Dorian O'Daniel, number 6. That's a loss back to the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, he comes in untouched, and Dorian was a great running back in high school, and it shows you the athletic ability of this Clemson defense, that he comes unfree. That's a blocking mistake up front by Syracuse.
Well, Daniel is playing at an All-American level so far this year. The number 1 tackler for this team, 2 interception returns for touchdowns in big games. And now, Chris Elmore, number 36, the big Rhino back, is in the game. Dungey on the draw, and he'll be to the 10-yard line. Sets up 3rd down and 7 as Albert Huggins, number 67, getting in. So some substitutes getting some time for the Tigers. Makes the stop.
Yeah, good call by Dino Babers on the quarterback draw, trying to get some of that sack yardage back. So you're sitting in a position now, you're 3rd and 7. You've got to be able to protect. Last 2 3rd downs, Clemson's come with a blitz.
Yeah, Dungey just ejected what appeared to be a shoe. He's going to throw, and it's going to be caught by Phillips. No, incomplete. The ball is on the turf. It is incomplete. We have a personal foul, roughing the passer. A huge mental mistake by Clemson. And now that gives Dungey time to tie his shoe.
Dave, I was just about to say the fact that Dabo Swinney decided to punt the ball ended up perfectly because they get a 3 and out. They're going to have great field position. Huge mistake by Clemson's defense. You can see Coach Swinney saying, think. And they're going to take care of the quarterbacks.
And it's pretty hard to argue with that call. Christian Wilkins got up high with a forearm and right in front of the official. So the ball has been moved out after the penalty to the 24-yard line.
And interestingly, in coaching, you're not going to jump all over Wilkins because he's one of your best pass rushers, and you don't want to slow him down. You're going to say be smart, but you're not going to say, come on now, don't be hitting that quarterback. Stay away from him because he's one of the best players.
We have whistles.
The previous play is under review.
You know what they might be looking for? One of 2 things. Was the pass actually caught, or was it targeted?
Steve?
I thought it was really close to the neck and head area, so I'll bet they're looking at targeting.
Now,
and that would be a huge blow to Clemson.
If that's what they're looking for, if they're looking for whether the pass was caught, because the ruling on the field was incomplete. It looked at first that he caught it, and we're going to take a look with Phillips and whether or not the ball contacted the ground at any point. Did he lose control? And you can see after looking at the replay, it looks like he did lose control of the football and the whole completing the process of the catch business. And I don't think targeting is at play here.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete pass. 15-yard penalty for roughing the passer, first down.
I think that one was close when you start looking at Wilkins in the upper area too. So you got to be really, really smart, because that would have been a huge loss for Clemson.
He would have been ejected for the remainder of the game. You're losing a preseason All-American in a game where you're down in a rowdy house on the road against a fired-up Syracuse team.
We look up now, there's only 1:11 left in the first quarter, and the Syracuse offense has been dominant.
Dungey trying to get away from that rush, and they're going to get him. That'll be another sack, 2-yard loss. Cleveland Farrell, number 99. You know, we talk Lawrence, we talk Bryant, we talk Wilkins. You can't leave that guy out.
No, they're 24-5 sacks now on the year. They've got one of the best front sevens in the country.
And there's further proof of that right there. That might gain a yard. And O'Daniel and Bryant in there, 6 and 7. So now you all of a sudden have a 3rd and long here. They're going to say 10 for the first down.
And this is where they've come after him. They've played man, they've come after him, and Eric Dungey cannot hold the ball. He's got to get rid of the ball quickly, but they've got a chip in the back.
He's under a lot of pressure there, and Strickland with a beautiful tackle by Mark Fields is brought down for a loss.
Exact same blitz as the touchdown play earlier in the game by Syracuse. Everything was exactly the same with the one exception. Mark Fields makes a very good open field tackle where he got his head down and missed the tackle on Strickland on the first play. Great play by Fields.
That is the end of the first quarter, and it was a thrilling one here in this ACC matchup on ESPN, part of our Friday doubleheader. The Orange getting a standing ovation in front of their crowd, lead number 2 Clemson 14-7. Start of the second quarter will begin with a Syracuse punt, the second for Sterling Hoffrichter tonight. His first went 42 yards. With Jen Latta and Mac Brown, Dave Lamont. First half of our Friday night doubleheader. We have Washington State Cal following us. And we just hope that the folks in Cal can play the game. With the tragedy out there with the fires, there is concern about the air quality. And that's just been such a difficult story to watch. Another very, very high kick. McLeod looking for it in the lights, makes an easy catch at the 35 after a solid 45-yard punt. 2 years ago, when Deshaun Watson was the quarterback for the Tigers, they had a struggle in this building against the Orange. It was my pleasure to be at this game, and Watson will score here on a 3-yard run. Clemson was highly ranked at the time. Syracuse was down 14. Zach Mahoney had to start this game because of injury to other quarterbacks. He scores, but Deshaun Watson, Deion Kane, 40 yards out. Watson had a magnificent game. 3 touchdowns, 473 total yards, and Clemson, number 1 at the time, won it by 10. Bryant hit after he throws it, and it's complete over to the 42-yard line. A catch made by DeAndre Overton, a sophomore from Greensboro, North Carolina. We do have an injury update on a Syracuse player from Jen.
Yeah, guys, just a few moments ago, we saw Scoop Bradshaw heading to the locker room surrounded by 3 members of the support staff, looked to be in a lot of pain. He's the starting corner, and I believe Jawan Dowell is now out there in his place.
You have 2 Floridians, Bradshaw from Plant High in Tampa and Dowell from American Heritage in Plantation, Florida. That's a high pass, incomplete, trying to get it to Amari Rogers. And Mac, you said something this morning. If your ankle's bad, what happens to throws?
Well, you can't follow through, so you get a little bit high. And the more you go through this ball game, the more sore your ankle could get too, because it stiffens up as you continue to play on it throughout the night.
After hitting his first 9 passes, that's the first incompletion for Kelly Bryant. Adam Choi stays in at the tailback spot. Bryant. Oh, what a great catch that time by Rogers. He is a freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee. And speaking of legacies, his father, T. Martin.
Yeah, his father was a pretty good player, too.
Yes, he was.
Won a national championship. Pretty good at what he does now, calling plays.
You know, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line in Syracuse territory. Choice will stay in at the tail. but they'll hand it off instead to Rodgers, and he is brought down for a significant loss by Rodney Williams, a 6-yard loss.
They're going to penetrate on first down with their defensive front linebackers. They know that Kelly Bryant's not going to run the ball, so the quarterback read options not going to be as effective tonight. Really good penetration by the defense, coming up with a big loss.
Choice. And he'll get the lost yardage back, giving us 3rd down and 10 coming up. Zaire Franklin among the tacklers there for Syracuse, number 4.
It's really hard to call plays when you've lost your number 1 running back as such in your quarterback designed runs. So it's tougher for the offensive coordinator tonight to be able to figure out what to call when he would normally go to Kelly Bryant's running game very often.
They take out the tight end Richard and bring in number 1 Travion Thompson. Renfro in motion now to the near side. Bryant in trouble. He's going to have to run, and he'll be brought down short. So gain 4. Chris Slayton, number 95, on the stop.
Yes, Renfro's running an inside route at the bottom of your screen. He clears the linebacker. He turns right there. Kelly Bryant just didn't have enough time to lead the ball inside.
So you bring out Will Spires again, the redshirt freshman punter.
And this is regular defense on the field. It's not as easy to fake a punt. When they've got the regular guys out there, they'll try to get them inside the 10.
He puts a lot of spin on this. Riley will catch it at the 6. So for the 2nd time, terrible field position for the Orangemen, but they have the advantage here. 14-7 over 2nd-ranked Clemson. That stat shows a couple of things. Number 1, how tough Clemson has been in the first half this year and how good Eric Dungey has been so far. That's primarily first quarter numbers, too, as we have a long way to go in the 2nd quarter. But if you can also see, Dungey's backed up. The offense will take the ball at the 6-yard line following a fine punt by Spires. Strickland, the tailback. Dungey's going to keep it. And he will get flipped. He'll get a couple of very hard-earned yards. Ryan Carter closing in, and Cleveland Farrell also forcing Dungey after no gain, really.
Dungey's going to run enough tonight on scrambling and quarterback draws. I don't know that I'd be running him too much, but they've got to get off the goal line.
Oh, he's got a wide-open receiver here. That is Pierce, the tight end. That's about the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen somebody get wide open. Tanner Muse finally brought him down after a 20-yard gain.
Well-designed play. They fake the screen to the left side and get the wheel.
Fake to Strickland. One-on-one. And it's going to be caught there by number 17, Jamal Custis, who has not played the last 4 games. And the Clemson tackler is injured. That's Trayvon Mullen who brought him down, and he cannot get up. Now, I need to point this out. You might have heard some booing. There is a thought among some Syracuse fans that because of the pace Syracuse plays at, that players will fake injuries from time to time. We're not doctors. We have no idea what the situation is. But if you hear a little hollering when an opposing player is down, some Syracuse fans aren't buying it.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Zaxby's, Friends, Family, Flavor, and AT&T.
Clemson's Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott's relationship goes back to their playing days at Clemson when they were teammates, and they were actually pregame stretch partners for 2000 to 2002. Elliott there on the left, Jeff Scott on the right. They have partnered up to make Clemson one of the best offenses in the country. The first time they worked together was the 2014 Russell Athletic Bowl after Chad Morris had gone to Dallas and SMU. The Tigers have won 35 out of 37 out of those 2. Mullen was able to get off under his own power, and Irvin Phillips will be on the near side. They moved some people around, and big number 36, Chris Elmore, Rhino back, is in. He'll be the lead blocker, and they go deep for Custis, and it's broken up. A.J. Terrell, the other fast number 8 for Clemson, helps break up the pass. There's a penalty marker down. See a lot of communication with those.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Offside number 7 is declined. Holding number 8 is accepted. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, he was in coverage. That's Terrell, the freshman from Atlanta, in coverage and with a penalty.
When you see you're about to get beat and you've got 6'1" on 6'5", and you realize the big guy who just beat you on a slant is going deep, you grab him and hold him.
So the ball is in Tigers territory at the 49-yard line. 2 penalties by the Tigers defense have led to first downs. And now they're holding up the Tigers, so Clemson could finish substituting. O'Neal, tailback, now he goes to the near side. They quickly throw down the middle, and that should be a first down. Catch made by Phillips. Gain of 11.
Very good pre-snap shift to confuse the Clemson defense. They've really got them on their heels right now.
This is the 25th play coming up for the Tigers. Dungy. Flags are down. There was a collision around the 25-yard line involving Ishmael and Mark Fields. Let's see how this goes.
Pass interference, defense.
So another penalty against the Clemson defensive backs.
Pass interference, defense, number 2, first down.
And that gives Syracuse their 13th first down.
You're working man-to-man against the number 1 receiver in the country, and he just grabbed him at the end there and hooked him with his right arm and pushed him out of bounds. That was a close one, but
Could've
still,
gone either way.
If you're going to grab and push, they're going to call it. Fields is a junior.
So they
He's
go
got
to
his hands
O'Neal.
full.
Yeah, he does. There was a little contact from Ishmael at the start of that route. Dexter Lawrence in there on the stop. That's a gain of about 3. It'll be second down and 7.
You know, Clemson's not as deep in their defensive line, so the number of plays could be a factor here as this game goes on.
Syracuse doing some massive shifting, and then it'll be a false start penalty. Lots of shifting going
False
on
start,
there.
offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty, second down.
That looked like Tom Landry 1970s Dallas Cowboys going on there, Mac, with all that kind of shifting.
Well, it really did. But you look at, I love Eric Dungy. He got all over Evan Adams about not being focused and sitting instead of having the penalty.
Dungy on the throw. Swallowed up by Farrell at the 30-yard line. Goodness.
Yeah, they were tired of it, so they brought the safety from the field. Farrell came up inside the tackle and caught him in the quarterback draw. Perfect play by Farrell. Farrell's so quick as a cat.
He's a redshirt sophomore, by the way. So now here comes third down at 16.
You can't take a sack here. You've got a chance to kick a field goal, so keep the right to kick the ball. Get the ball out of your hands quickly if you're Eric Dungy.
3 to get off the snap. They'll get it off before the penalty. Here comes the heat. 1-on-1. And there's Ishmael. Flag is down, and this might be offensive interference. It was Ishmael versus Fields again, and this might be coming back.
Pass interference, offense, number 8. 15-yard penalty, third down.
Ishmael, 6'2", 209 pounds, and he has a tendency sometimes to get separation with the push right there. And he just push Field in the back enough to get separation with the back shoulder throw and make the catch. Really good call by the officials.
It was an incredible effort that he got into the end zone and got this house excited. The horn goes off here, but it's all for naught. And back to the 45-yard line we go now for, they've got to get 31 yards. So what's the mentality now here for Syracuse as a play caller for Dino Babers?
You'd like to get 10, 15 yards and kick it a field goal. You definitely want to change field position coming off your goal line. You've already done that, so no turnover, no sack here.
Mike Black, our kicking expert at Spotter, says need about 10 more yards to get into field goal range. And they're going to be a little short. That ball's out! Picked up by Tanner Muse. Muse has a clear path to the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. No flags. Now, is it going to be considered a fumble after the replay review? I take it back. There is a penalty marker down. We couldn't see it. It's right in front of the Syracuse bench. So there is a flag down at the 42-yard line. It was just obscured by the Orangeman bench. So there's two things. What's the penalty, and was that actually a fumble?
During the return, there is no foul for a block in the back. Touchdown on the play. After the play, unsportsmanlike, Clemson, number 19. That's his first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
Oh, that's a fumble. There's absolutely no question about it. That's going to count. Tanner Muse was hit with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So the second time we've had a touchdown followed by an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the person who scored. The fumble forced by Isaiah Simmons. And Muse, one more unsportsmanlike conduct, and he is out of the game.
If you're the big underdog, you cannot turn the ball over. And Strickland has protected the ball so well, it just got punched from behind.
First time he's ever done it in college.
First time he's ever done it.
Yep, over 300 touches, and that is his first fumble. And we had a very clear view of our replay that was indeed a fumble and a scoop and score by Muse.
And you tell Muse to act like he's been there before and don't hurt your field position.
I wonder what's up with that. The emotion of this game, Mac, has really caught me. And these players apparently are just so wrapped up in it. That's 4 touchdowns, and 2 of them have resulted in unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. So Tanner Muse comes up with a 63-yard scoop and score, but then lost his head for the moment. And watch the gesture, and this is an automatic penalty every time when you do the throat slash gesture. You're going to get hit with the unsportsmanlike conduct. Well, what this means now is Clemson is kicking off from the 20-yard line, as Syracuse did already tonight after their unsportsmanlike conduct post-touchdown penalty. I think that Sean Riley can do some damage here as he goes wide. And a good run back for Riley. He'll get to close to the 40-yard line and does get to the 40-yard line. And let's get back down to the field and Jen.
Well, hey there, guys. Dabo Swinney said that although they won the national championship last year, they led the world in pass interference penalties. You just saw a couple on that last drive. So what did he do? He put his defensive backs in boxing gloves like this. He told them he wanted them to win with their feet, be a little more physical from the waist down. They've done much better this season with the pass interference penalties, but not on that last drive.
All right, Jen, thank you. I hope you get to keep the gloves. I'm just saying. It's a great souvenir to have. Dante Strickland, the tailback, and every time they've been splitting out the backs and bringing them down as receivers. Dungy going to take off, and he will sort of a combination slide and just a takedown on his own part to pick up a couple there. So Daniel with another tackle for the Tigers, gain of 2.
Now they told Dungy, get down, but dive for daylight, don't take hits.
Screen pass. Dungy's trying to get rid of it, and he's just going to have to take another hit. He'll get 3. Made something out of nothing there. Lawrence and Joseph on the stop.
Great awareness with an experienced quarterback. The screen's not there. He knows that people are downfield. He knows the pass rush is softer. He just takes a bad play and turns it into a good play running straight up the field. This is third down. Syracuse has gone for it 13 of 21 on fourth. If they get this close, we could see a fourth down conversion try.
A lot of pressure coming from the Tigers. Dungey on the run, and it's caught along the far sideline by Phillips at the Clemson 49. Carter in coverage, first down, Orange.
You can imagine if Eric Dungey wasn't a great runner, he would have been sacked so many times. Been sacked 4 times, been running all over the place.
And off to Strickland, he just disappears. No gain, second and 10. O'Daniel among many in orange and white.
When you lose a possession offensively like Clemson did last time, scoring on defense, it helps you with a score, but it doesn't give your defense any rest. So they're right back out on the field, and we're seeing Clemson players with their hands on their hips a little bit.
Can I ask you something? Why don't we ever talk about offensive players getting tired?
Well, because they know where they're going. They don't have to chase somebody.
I'm serious about that.
Yes.
I know I'm not trying to be sarcastic, because when we have all these conversations about tempo, we always talk about the defense being tired, and we never hear about the offense being tired. The play clock, by the way, while we were talking, was taken down to 2, then to 1, and then a timeout called here by the Orange. That's their first of 3 timeouts they have used. We'll take it with them with 6:23 remaining in a tied game in the first half in the Carrier Dome. Well, we're getting the weekend off to a good start with this one tonight. Syracuse dominating in time of possession and in plays and in yards. One of the Clemson touchdowns scored by their defense. On second down, Dungey rolls. Phillips is wide open. The pass is hung up, and it is broken up. Isaiah Simmons, the safety, had time to come over and knock that down. 3rd and 9 coming up.
Clemson coaches love this big safety. Redshirt freshman, 6'3", 225 pounds. And he's tall enough that he can go up and break this ball up at the height of the jump. They think he's a superstar in the future.
3 out of 6 third downs tonight.
I love the play design, moving Dungey away from the rush.
That just completely uncoordinated.
False start, offense. Several offensive line players. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Nino Babers wandered out to the numbers to say something to one of the officials and was quickly told by the side judge, you better get back to your spot on the sidelines or we could flag you. Had 6 penalties on the Cuse for 50.
When you see offensive linemen all jump like that, I'm sure Coach Babers is saying the defensive line of Clemson's calling our signals and getting us to move. Just like that again, center move the ball.
And here comes Babers again out on the field. And he is again sent back quickly, but this time he's doing a little bit more talking.
Defense, number 42, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
They would talk about simulation of the snap count. It's what happens in that situation. They're saying, they say move, they say hut. It happens all the time. There had to be something said because the center moved the ball. And you can see that Christian Wilkins is sitting there pleading his case.
Well, the referee had come all the way over for a little bit to speak to Dabo Sweeney about it as well. So we're back to 3rd and 10. See if we can get through this one cleanly. We do. A lot of pressure from the Tigers. Dungey gets hit. And coming back to make the catch. Beautifully done is Ismail. Very close to the first down.
Fantastic job of Eric Dungey anticipating the break and throwing the ball before Ishmael makes his break.
It is 4th down in inches. Play is blown dead and timeout.
Before the snap, timeout called. correction, Syracuse, their second timeout of the half.
That simply means that Dino Babers didn't like the call that he saw. It was a mismatch for his defense. This is so critical. Let's get over here on the sideline, get set, get the right play.
Dino Babers not at all satisfied with that call that the receiver was short of the first down, is challenging that spot, and they've gone to the replay. The ruling on the field is fourth down. Here's the referee.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was short of the line of the game. Syracuse has used its one challenge for the game. They also have a timeout.
He's out of challenges.
That was worth the challenge. Gives you a first down, and when you're fourth down and inches against this Clemson front, it's not a guarantee.
They had actually snapped the ball before that timeout was called, or so it seemed, and they had Dungey in that shotgun formation.
Probably didn't have the call he wanted, and had an assistant upstairs, Dave, that said, "Hey, coach, I think we made it."
Yep. Well, they certainly have had plenty of time to figure out what they want to do here. The tailback will be Dante Strickland.
This is such a critical possession with 5:50 left in the half. You'd like to use this 5:50 and go in and take a lead into halftime.
Dungey's going to go under center here. He'll run the option. He'll get it easily to the 35 and a first down.
What a great call. Strength to the field. Run your option back into the boundary. Got a running quarterback that could also pitch it, but he knew what he needed for the first down.
Caught. Down to the 5-yard line. The catch made by Pierce, the tight end. Looked like it might have been a double move. First down.
Got a mismatch to the boundary. You've got the tight end tight. He comes out and acts like he's blocking for the screen. Turns it up for a huge play.
Go to Strickland on the ground. Strickland fighting through toward the... And we may have... Dungey could be shaken up. He looks to be in some genuine pain down there at the 1-yard line. And he's going to get up. He did not finish the game in South Carolina last year when these teams played. Now, this is a tough decision because if he comes out, you have Zach Mahoney, who is an experienced backup, who can come in. And Dungey's going to have to come out for at least this play. And another timeout taken by Syracuse, and they are out of timeouts in this half. And so number 16, Zach Mahoney, is likely to be on the field after this timeout.
Number 2, Syracuse was hurt on the play. Syracuse timeout prevents him from having to stay out for one play.
And he got hit high by Joseph. And you watched his reaction right after the play, and you could tell that something wasn't right.
He has to stay out.
He had penetration by Wilkins. Joseph timed it perfectly and jumped over the pile to knock him back.
So it was second down and inches, but did he get in on the play before that? And there was no call down from the booth, and you could see he did not get in. So the officials were right on it. As the 11th play of the drive is coming up, and they've got about 1.5 yards to go. Now you've got Zach Mahoney, graduate out of LaGrange Park, Illinois. Played very little this year, and nope. Dungey cannot come back out. The referee announced that he had to sit out this play. So Mahoney has to come in. Taking the timeout did not save that. He has to be out for one play.
This is where head coaches make a lot of money for a reason.
Mahoney's not a bad runner.
He's not.
So
he run option.
And he burned Clemson in this building a couple of years ago.
And field goals aren't an option here.
And it was actually kind of hard to hear that through some of the noise in the building. But our referee is now going across the way to speak to Dabo Swinney to explain all that. Syracuse is getting a timeout back.
And Dave, it's a good matchup with the older, experienced receivers of Syracuse against the young, inexperienced secondary. It is not a good matchup when you've got to run in a small space against this huge defensive line up front. So they'll probably have to do something outside.
Maybe a fake.
Fake, option, sprint.
It'll be Mahoney, and he will get stormed under at the 4-yard line. Number 99, once again, Cleveland Farrell, Kendall Joseph, 34. And we are going to see Cole Murphy and the field goal team. Now the issue, is Dungey really capable of finishing this quarter and the game? Wanted to come back out, not allowed. This will be a 21-yard field goal to put Syracuse back in the lead. Mahoney is the holder. Keep that in mind.
You would watch your fake here, but I really feel like Dino Babers wants a lead. Got to play defense to take the lead into halftime.
That's the plan. And after all that drama, we come out with a orange field goal to make it 17-14 with 3:49 to go. Let's go back and take a look at how the Tigers defended a new quarterback.
We saw Mahoney 2 years ago running the option, and that's what this is. It's a run-pass option out to your right. You've got your tight end in the flat, but Cleveland Farrell from behind is so quick and so fast that he runs the quarterback down.
Farrell is having a monstrous first half. He's been everywhere, number 99 for the Tigers. And we haven't seen Kelly Bryant since the 12:20 mark on the game clock. That's not real time now. I'm just talking about the game clock. Here we are at 3:49.
And all of our fans who have ever had anything hurt knows when you stretch it, you work it, and then sit, you have a tendency to get really stiff. So it'll be interesting to watch Kelly on this series. They're still not trying to run him, but can he scramble and be effective enough following through to throw the ball downfield?
You've got Tavian Feaster and Travis Etienne back deep. Etienne took one about 6 yards deep last time out. That's how you avoid that. You hook it into the end zone for the touchback. Let's head to the studio. Our first visit with Adnan Burke. Adnan, what's up?
Syracuse defense is powered by
All right, and we will look forward to that. Tavian Feaster is the tailback for the Tigers. Bryant will take a short drop throw, and it's dropped. Kane had it in his hands and could not hang on. 2nd and 10 coming up.
16 first downs for Syracuse, only 6 for Clemson at this point. 38 plays for the Cuse, and only 20 for Clemson. So you take away the fumble return for a touchdown, this thing would be in a different place. Clemson needs to take it down and score at this point.
Empty set backfield here for Bryant. 2-step drop. This one's in rhythm, and it's caught by the tight end, Mylan Richard, and he'll get a first down to the 37-yard line. Tackled by Bennett. Blitz up the middle. Franklin was unblocked. Bryant gets away and throws it away. And was there a receiver in the neighborhood?
intentional grounding. Offense number 2. That's a spot foul. Loss of down. Second down.
I think we could all see that there was not any receiver nearby. So that's a significant penalty.
And the stiff ankle showed up because he could not get away from the blitzer who came free up inside. Franklin, he couldn't get his feet set. He's limping coming back. He tried to get rid of it, but obviously he wasn't out of the tackle box. Good call by the officials.
22 yards to go now on second down. More pressure right in his face, and it's incomplete. On the screen, he was able to get it toward Feaster, but Jonathan Thomas came in that time and hit Bryant about a blink of an eye after he threw it. It's 3rd and 22.
The corner comes on the blitz. It's a really good call, but Feaster, your lead back, drops the ball. Blitz from the top. Feaster lets him go. Probably should have butted him a little bit, but they've lost focus. They've dropped 2 balls and missed a pickup on the last 3 plays.
Bryant's got a little time here. You can see him sort of limp running, and he'll throw this away. That was a rough series for the Tigers offense.
Pressing a little bit, dropping balls, missing assignments. Now the defense has got to step up because Syracuse is moving the ball, and you've got 3:08 left and a lot of time for a tempo offense like Syracuse to take it down and get points.
You know, Syracuse, number 3 in the NCAA in third down defense, 25% on third downs. They've held Clemson to 20% in the first half. Spires, very, very high kick. Riley, fair catch. And he'll make it at the 30-yard line. Remember, Syracuse has a timeout with 3 minutes to go. Let's get more on Eric Dungey from Jen Latta.
Well, guys, just a few moments ago, he was sitting on the bench. He had ice on his right shin and was grimacing as the medical staff was attending to his leg. But I just saw him put his helmet back on, and he's headed back out to the field.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. Eric Dungey, and then timing of it being shaken up caused Syracuse to bring out their backup quarterback, Zach Mahoney, for 1 play. And it didn't work. They ended up getting a field goal after being inches away from a touchdown. And there is Dungey back out there. Now, you got 2 quarterbacks who may not be. Well, we know Bryant's now not 100%. Now we'll see how Dungey is. He's going to take off. He's going to fire it down deep for Phillips. Phillips can't find the ball. Ryan Carter was in coverage. He couldn't find the ball either. There was a little bit of contact. There will not be a flag.
In my opinion, this is an uncatchable ball. You've got contact. If it was holding, it was early. At this point, he grabs him some. As you look at it, Dave, I think it should have definitely been called holding. I didn't see that when the play was live.
2nd and 10. Dungey, quick throw, and an excellent tackle by Mark Fields. Kept that from being a bigger play than it was. A gain of 4, and Ishmael did not get out of bounds.
You'd like to use some clock if you're the Syracuse offense here. They're looking to the boundary, and that's their way to slow things down. Let the clock run. You don't want Clemson to get the ball back with time.
They're forever shifting this Syracuse attack.
They will let them line up anywhere and then go to their proper position to screw up the defensive lineman.
Dungey, can he get away with that bad shin? On the run, missed, incomplete. And the Tigers defense holds. Ishmael was the intended receiver. So we're going to get the Syracuse punt team out with Sterling Hoffrichter. And Hoffrichter's done a very good job with very high kicks. And we have not seen Ray McLeod, who's dangerous, able to return one yet. In fact, Mac, you think Ray's close to busting one here?
He is so close. I wouldn't punt it to him, but they've punted it so high. They've had good coverage. It's worked so far.
High with a wobble, another fair catch, and a crowd. And a flag comes in. there's going to be some field position determined on
Kick
this
catch
call.
interference. Kicking team, number 24. 15-yard penalty, touchdown.
So Cullen is guilty of that penalty, and that's going to give great field position for Clemson.
It's a huge special teams mistake. You have got to give the punt returner an opportunity to catch the ball, and he's too close to him.
There's sort of an area, a no-fly zone, so to speak.
It really is. You have to give him enough room to catch the ball. You hate to see a young guy who's got a lot of effort. He's trying to make a play on special teams, but he just got too close.
C.J. Fuller makes his first appearance at the tailback. Syracuse now 66 yards in penalties. They've been flagged 7 times. Bryant, too high. Second down and 10. And he was hit after the play, trying to get it to Hunter Renfro. And he was hit by Chris Slayton, number 95. It'll be second down and 10.
The decision by the Clemson coaching staff would be he's not going to be a runner, but can he be effective throwing and following through to help them win this football game? That'll be the question.
He hit his first 9 passes and has cooled off since. They run a tunnel screen. Flags are down. Kane's not going to get very much. Bennett in there on the stop. And we're going to have a holding call here against Clemson.
They are really out of sync on offense. Pressing.
Holding offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Mac, the thing I notice is I don't think they're handing the ball off very much.
You're looking at the clock, 1:46 left. You've still got your 3 timeouts, so you've got plenty of time. But they probably feel like they're ineffective in their running game without their quarterback running the ball because he's been such a big part of that dominant running game. They've been balanced all year.
So second down, 20.
You get the ball to start the second half, so you don't want to turn it over here or give them a short field and give them more points going in.
And now you see the Tigers slowing things down. 7 to get off the snap. Bryant, pocket collapsing, throws Kane, snatching it out of the air. Makes the first miss, but then is gang tackled. He got the penalty yards plus back. Bennett leading the parade. That's a gain of 10. And Bryant is struggling just a little bit.
Yeah, they are getting after the quarterback, and they're knocking Kelly Bryant down a lot, and he can't get out of the way. That's the other thing that's tough, and grabbed him around the left ankle there.
And that's the bad ankle. Bryant hurled to the ground by Chris Slayton. It's 4th down. And Bryant is not getting up. Slayton really brought him down hard.
It's hard for him to scramble. He's such an effective scrambler. He turns straight up the field. Slayton's their best defensive lineman. He takes him and throws him down. It's a clean hit.
Mac, this is a little scary because the moment he hasn't moved that I've seen, they're talking to him right now. They have a towel down by the top of his helmet. And a lot of concern in this building here for Kelly Bryant. Still don't notice any movement. And now I see Bryant moving a hand or 2 in there as the trainers are talking to him, but that's about all I've seen. And now they roll him over. That's helpful. That's good news, a little bit. Dabo Sweeney now joins the crowd.
as a head coach, you want to stay away and allow the doctors and trainers to give him a full checkup and evaluation. And then when the time is right, Coach Sweeney, who's concerned about his quarterback, will step in and actually talk to the quarterback and ask him if he's okay, and he'll be the settling factor. You see Dabo there patting him on the leg and talking to him, so get your head up if you're okay. And that also sends a message to the family that may not be here that he's okay.
Well, sitting up.
The offensive coordinators are getting the second-team quarterbacks ready. They've got 2 guys that have played. So they've got to make a decision on who goes in if Kelly Bryant doesn't go back in the ballgame.
It would be a blessing for Clemson in one way that they'll have halftime coming up in 41 seconds on 4th down. Bryant is now standing, thankfully. And this is going to be a #1 topic of conversation in the Clemson locker room as Bryant needs some help to walk off the field. And certainly not a dirty hit at all, but it looks like the helmet goes right into this turf. And you can see right away the reaction on Kelly Bryant. He just went down, and it's been a tough game for both quarterbacks.
Yes, and regardless of whether Kelly comes back tonight or not, if he doesn't play the rest of the game, they do have a week off, and they have 15 days before their next ball game.
Yeah, they play Georgia Tech on October 28th. So either Zarek Cooper or Hunter Johnson could be the new quarterback for the Tigers when the 3rd quarter comes around. Right now, Clemson's got to play a little more defense. Syracuse has a timeout remaining. Spires, it's a line drive punt. Riley's got a chance to do some damage here from the 16-yard line. And the Tigers' special teams won't let him do it. Simmons in there again. I think O'Daniel too. All right, how about the game for Eric Dungey tonight, Coach?
Well, for Syracuse to have a chance to win this game, Eric had to make some plays with his feet. And when he did that, he stayed away from the rush. Excellent call by Dino Babers on the screen against the safety blitz that leads in for the score. And then they've thrown the ball downfield well to those 2 great receivers, Ishmael and Phillips.
Now Dungey's a little beat up too, as Shenlata reported. He had ice on his shin earlier, and we're going to have another busted play here. We've had a handful of these tonight. False start here.
False start, offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Anyway, so Dungey has a bit of a shin issue. Bryant came in, nicked up with a bad ankle, and now needed help to get into the Tigers locker room right here before halftime. So
they're just going to hand it off and see if they can squirt one to try to get out to midfield so they can throw a Hail Mary or something, because they're not going to take any chances at this point in the field.
Ahead 17-14.
They would have taken this about 2 hours ago. They'll take the lead going into halftime. Clemson has the ball.
Handed here to Dante Strickland. And the Tigers defense will give him a short game. Farrell with another stop. And that should be the end of the half.
Great first half for Syracuse. Clemson's got to go in and regroup. Talk about the quarterback position in the second half.
Down to 4 seconds. Now they're going to get one off right before the half. Dungey will throw it, and it's incomplete, and that is the end of the first half. A lot of drama coming up in the second half. 17-14, Syracuse over Clemson. Let's join Adnan Burke, Joey Galloway, and Jesse Palmer in studio right now.
Welcome back to Dos Equis Tailgate Week.
Welcome back to the ACC on ESPN, all part of Dos Equis Tailgate Week, and this is a game that's raising eyebrows all around the nation right now, with Syracuse leading number 2 Clemson here in the Carrier Dome, 17-14, and the Tigers will not have Kelly Bryant available for the rest of the game, and that's straight from the head coach, Dabo Sweeney. Mac, you've had to deal with this situation before, changing quarterbacks at halftime. Give us an idea of what that's like for Clemson.
Well, in the national championship game, Colt McCoy goes down. We had to work our way through the first quarter, and then we come back, and at halftime you have to sit down decide who you're going to play number one, and then cut that playbook back and challenge everybody else around them to step up their play.
We're going to find out right now who the quarterback's going to be, because Clemson gets the ball to start the half to the 25-yard line. But first, Jen Lavin.
Well, guys, I just got a chance to talk to Dino Babers out of the locker room. He said we have to hold this first series, get the ball back, and then score. I asked him about the status of his starting quarterback. He said hurting, but available. I also asked him if the defense changes if Bryant can't go. He said absolutely not. They're a tough team, and they're deep.
And the answer is number 6, Zarek Cooper, the redshirt freshman from Jonesboro, Georgia, is the quarterback, replacing the injured Kelly Bryant. And a concussion near the end of the second quarter and will not return. They go to the ground, and Feaster will get nothing, maybe even lose a yard. So here is Cooper. He's completed 50% of his passes on the season for only 57 yards. He does have a touchdown. He has run a couple of times for 11 yards. He's facing second down and 10 right now. Feaster comes back, low snap. He handles it, gets it off to Ray McLeod on the tunnel screen, banks a tackle, and McLeod will get 8 to the 33. Third down and 2 coming up.
You quarterback, you cut your playbook down, you give him things that he can be successful with. Option on first down, quick screen on second down. Really important third down conversion here for Clemson. I think they run the option or get it in Feaster's hands.
On the run, in trouble now, ad-libbing to McLeod, and it's too high. Flag is down at the 48-yard line. Christopher Frederick was in coverage.
Holding defense, number 3. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it's Frederick who is hit with a penalty.
They came on third down with their old standby. They went to the rub route for Renfro. He had him open, but the young quarterback couldn't turn his shoulders quickly enough, and he threw the ball deep.
The ball now at the Tigers' 43-yard line. Feaster stays in the tailback spot. And you're looking at Cedric Cooper, the quarterback. Feaster has a little bit of a hole, but that closed quickly. He got a couple of yards. Evan Foster, who's also playing hurt tonight, number 14 for the Orange, came up very quickly to stop that for a 3-yard gain.
And I think if you're Dabo Swinney, you went in at halftime and said, man, we've got to be more balanced. We've got to run the ball and keep it away from the Syracuse offense the second half.
Quick drop, quick throw, slant, caught. McLeod tripped up. He's 4 yards short of the first down. Frederick stopped him there. They need to get to the Syracuse 47-yard line to keep this drive alive.
Hunter Renfro has been their third down guy, 3rd and 10, but definitely 3rd and 5. So let's find him. And when we find him, you're probably going to see an option right. He's to the top of the bottom of the screen. He's the slot inside, right at the Ernie Davis on the E.
They bring a blitz. They throw in the direction of the blitz, and it's batted down. 4th down and 4 coming up.
Thought there was an overload to the right. They tried to hit the slant with man coverage to the backside. Really good play by Evan Foster.
So the sophomore from West Bloomfield, Michigan, breaks this up.
Get your hands up. Great job, Evan. He had Kane on the inside slant route for the first down.
Spires in to punt again. We got Riley waiting from around the 8-yard line. Spires. Riley backing up. Gets it go over his head and batted down. Did they save it? That was Isaiah Simmons who saved it, and it's going to be at the 1-yard line. 50-yard punt. An incredible play by Simmons and teammates to give Syracuse the worst possible starting field position.
All ESPN coverage is streaming live on the ESPN app. Download now and take ESPN everywhere.
So after that fine punt and tremendous special teams play by Isaiah Simmons, the Q starts at their own 1. So, Mac, how aggressive do you think Syracuse ought to be here?
Dino Babers made a really good point. You got to keep playing. You got to try to win.
They'll pick up about 4 there. Good tackle made there by number 31.
And Dave, that's the 44th play for them, and they're trying to get 90 plus to 100. 270 yards in the first half, 16 first downs, 17 minutes and a half of time of possession.
On 2nd and 7, they'll go to the ground, and now they'll give themselves a little bit more room to work with. They're short of the first down, but not by much.
But now this is huge for Clemson. This is points for the Clemson team. If they stop them here, get a short punt, got a short field, you've got to stop them on this end of the field if you're Clemson.
And they cannot. First down for Syracuse. Strickland with a carry in the first down. That's a huge first down for the Orange, and they may pick up the pace here now. A little miscommunication at that time. I've not seen that very often between Dungey and his receivers. Phillips was the intended receiver, and that play kind of fell apart, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
Jen gave us the report about Dungey's shin. We'll have to watch him in the second half early and make sure that he can step and throw the ball and follow through.
You see the numbers there. Third quarters have been very successful for Syracuse when they have the ball, and for Clemson when they don't. So we'll see how that holds up here. Well, they've got Chris Elmore, the big fullback / tight end, all the way at the top of your screen. They go underneath. The pass was tipped. The umpire says the pass was tipped. There'll be no interference against Tanner Muse for the contact with the receiver. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Now you're Brent Venables. You've got to make a decision. Do you come after him? Do you have a 3-man rush? What do you do, understanding they're a really, really good screen team? So this will be a good call by Brent.
Syracuse making some late changes and not at top speed. They bring Devin C. Butler back in, number 5. They take out Elmore. They're 4 out of 10 and 3rd downs. They bring some pressure. And another big miscommunication with Phillips and Dungey. That was 10 yards over his head, and Syracuse will have to punt.
Really big series by the Clemson defense. They didn't hold them inside the 10, but now they've got them putting from the 14-yard line. This should give them great field position, even if he gets off a great punt, and you fair catch it.
Ray McLeod at the 45-yard line has not had a chance against Hofrichter, who's been outstanding. But this one, not so good. It's going to be much shorter. Going to hook back into the field and get touched at the 43-yard line of Syracuse. That's the first time the redshirt sophomore has misfired on one. Here is our college football look ahead, brought to you by Xfinity X1. And of course, with Washington State Cal, they are going to play that game tonight. Looks like the air quality in Berkeley will hold up. Luke Falk could even be a Heisman candidate at this point. And who can forget Lee Corso, the way he dressed up? James Madison the last time. Game day will be there tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern.
We got some great games again tomorrow.
Well, there's
so
a game,
much fun.
a game that
and
you're
tonight.
pretty familiar with that you celebrated in 2013. We're going to do that to you, by the way, after the game tonight.
It'll still feel good.
Quick throw, catch made by Kane at around the 36-yard line. As Eric Cooper has taken over. If you're just joining us, Kelly Bryant, right before halftime, was knocked out on a play. And Dabo Sweeney already announced that he is not returning Bryant with a concussion. So at the moment, the redshirt freshman is the quarterback, Zarek Cooper, number 6, with Adam Choice as tailback. On 2nd down, it's Choice. And he'll fight to the 30, and that'll be a first down. Paris Bennett on the stop.
It's very obvious at halftime, Clemson got together offensively and said, let's give him some runs. We've got to be more balanced. We only had 42 yards rushing early, and let's give him some simple throws. We've got to get our momentum back. And come on, defense, you got to get the ball back first.
Cooper is 3 out of 4 for 17 yards. Choice will stay in the tailback spot. Fake the jet sweep to McLeod. Cooper in a little bit of trouble. Has some room if he wants to take off left. Throws to Renfro. That is a sick catch.
Quite a catch. I'm like you, Dave. I want to yell at the young quarterback, run! You've got all kinds of green space. But that's an unbelievable catch. Gets his hands up under it. Hand-eye coordination, unbelievable for the first down.
Hashtag that SC top 10, I think.
Absolutely.
Now a quick throw behind Renfro and incomplete. That'll slow things down. It'll be second down and 10. That is remarkable. There wasn't even a moment to think that we might have to have the replay booth look at it.
No, it's definitely a top 10 catch because there are very few receivers in America that could get to it, much less keep their hands underneath it and secure the ball. And smart enough to hold it up so the official could see it.
ETN is now the tailback, number 9. Cooper.
Remember, Clemson hasn't been good at kicking field goals.
No, they've missed one tonight, and badly. 5 seconds to snap. They get it off in time. In trouble and swallowed up almost alive by Alton Robertson. That's a loss of 6.
Well, it's a communication there. You start looking as a quarterback at the sideline, and Cooper's not sure what to do. He changes the play, and obviously not everybody was on the same page. Some guys trying to block as receivers, some trying to run. Be smart here. Keep the right to kick.
Cooper, McLeod to the 13, and McLeod gets them closer. They're still several yards short of the first down. They're going to be 1 out of 8 on third down conversions, but they have made this a reasonable field goal if they want to try it for Alex Spence, and I don't see him coming out.
Not sending him in. He's going for the 4th down. Nope, here he goes.
Thought about it, though.
They had a hard discussion. They said, come on, coach, we need points. We need points.
And you can see him go, okay, I know. Somebody really got in his ear.
No, it's probably Venables. We're going to get it, coach. We're going to play defense.
Well, they got to hurry up here.
Offensive guys want to go for it.
Down to 4. 30-yarder. They get it off in time. And that one is good. And a good job by Will Sweeney, the coach's son, to handle the high snap. Zarek Cooper.
That's why you got to be simple with your coordination, because young quarterbacks get confused. Confuses the offensive line up front, turns one loose, big sack.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, a century of innovation.
Celebrating the 30th anniversary of the 1987 Syracuse football team that finished undefeated, 11-0-1, and appeared in the Sugar Bowl. Second undefeated season in school history, and of course they were coached by a wonderful man, Dick McPherson. 10 seasons, 5 bowl games from Syracuse. Passed away in August, and memorial patches, and of course that patch there on the field honoring one of the real great coaches and personalities in this game.
Yeah, I love Coach Mack. He was a good friend and great man.
Here is Sean Riley about the 1-yard line. And he is looking for a spot that is not there. He's going to be stopped at the 18-yard line. But tomorrow, more college football on ABC. The Yellow Jackets at number 11 Miami at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. And we go out to the Coliseum in LA at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific for the Utes taking on Sam Darnold and USC. And of course, if you're out and about, grab your phone, grab the app, and stream it live. That's not a nice game for Miami without Mark Walton to come back to after the emotion of Florida State. That will not be easy.
But like Clemson tonight, you are who you are. If you're good enough in Miami, you got to step up and win the game. Clemson's playing with more urgency right now.
First carry today for Tyrone Perkins. He'll get a couple of yards. It'll be second down and 8 coming up.
And if Clemson's the number 2 team in the country without their starting quarterback, they still have to step up and win this ball game on the road.
Well, the poor punt helped them into a 30-yard field goal. Dungy looking, receivers are covered. He'll take off, and he's got some room here. Dungy down the sideline, breaks free into Clemson territory and is brought down at around the 37-yard line, and a touchdown-saving tackle by Kayvon Wallace.
The quarterback's feet are invaluable in college football. Nobody accounts for him. There's no spy on him. So he outruns Joseph to the corner and turns up.
It was a 45-yard run to the 35, and the next carry by Perkins will get inside the 30 or on the 30, they're going to say, and 5 quick yards.
Always made me mad. We would score, and I'd say, defense, shut them down. Syracuse moving the ball again.
Now a fake, one-on-one, into the end zone, touchdown! Syracuse, Ishmael! 4 plays, 82 yards in a minute and 15. The leading receiver in the nation comes through, and one-on-one, he is so tough to cover.
Syracuse just said, we're not going away. What an answer.
The big play, the run by Dungy. And remember, he had ice on his shin earlier in the game, but Dino Babers told Jen he's hurt, but he'll play.
And a great matchup, Dave. When you're in coaching, it's all about matchups. They took their best receiver, leading receiver in the country, and they locked him up with a safety. And he beats him deep for the score.
Syracuse has found the end zone more often than anybody has this year against Clemson, and a field goal, 24-17. This environment now is cooking in this dome. But remember, this Clemson team won at Louisville, and they've won at Virginia Tech this year. They've won 12 in a row on the road. They are hard to rattle. Line drive kick, bit of a hook to it, and it hooked out of bounds.
Huge mistake.
Yep, 35-yard line is where this ball is going to go.
Huge mistake. Come on, kicker. Kick it in bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
That is the 5th time that he has done that this year, Cole Murphy. Kick off your Week 6 with Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN with Randy Moss ranking the best catches from this weekend's college football action. In the latest edition of You Got Moss, I got one for him tonight. Plus, Desmond Howard joins Countdown and takes a trip to Kansas City to talk to Tyreek Hill and find out how the Chiefs have become the NFL's most exciting offense. Countdown is streaming live on the ESPN app. Zarek Cooper out again for the injured Kelly Bryant. And he'll keep it. And he'll get to about the 40-yard line. He'll give him 5, second down and 5. First time we have seen Cooper run.
Yeah, you're the offensive coaches of Clemson now. We know it's going to be a tight game. There's no blowouts here. Let's try to stay ahead of the chains. Get 4 here, 4 there. Good first down play.
ETN is the tailback, number 9. Quick throw, catch, Kane. Trying to make a spin move. He'll get the first down. It'll be brought down at the 48-yard line by Juwan Dowles, who's in for Scoop Bradshaw, and Evan Foster.
And if you're Syracuse on defense, keep them in front of you. Don't give them anything easy and try to get a turnover. Strip the ball. Knock a ball loose. Tip a ball.
Cooper 6 out of 8 for 49 yards. Hands off to ETN. ETN, look out for the speed. He could go. He will go. Touchdown, ETN. And Clemson's a point away from tying it up. He is a bad man.
He's a fast man.
Wow. 52 yards.
This guy's 200 pounds.
Back.
He's not a little back.
He is spectacular. He's real, and he's spectacular.
And he quietened this crowd really quickly, and it was a great job of blocking up front by the offensive line. I think we see Clemson run the ball and be much more balanced the rest of this game.
And just like that, Watch how quickly he goes from 0 to 60 here, Mac.
They cleaned him out. Pulled both guard, backside tackle. Turned up on the power play. ETN runs him into the end zone for a touchdown.
An electrifying 52-yard ETN run. Knotted up at 24. This is our 4th tie. The number 2 team in the country has not led yet tonight. If you take a look at the electrifying Travis ETN. He is a freshman out of Jennings, Louisiana. Riley, 4-yard line. Trying to get to the sideline. And again, the Clemson coverage is good. He'll get to around the 20. Let's take a look at what Eric Dungey has done tonight with a comfort zone, brought to you by Wrangler.
Well, the major reason that this game is close is Dungey has handled everything so well at quarterback. He throws the screen. He throws the ball downfield. He's made plays with his feet. So he's thrown for 3 touchdowns, 226 yards. He's run for 70 yards. This guy is playing at a very high level and keeping this game close.
He went out for 1 play in the second quarter to have a shin looked at, and he came back in and has played very well. He set up the last touchdown with a big run. A lot of movement again by Syracuse. Dungey with a little bit of time here and can't find an open receiver. And he does the right thing. And a big flag as somebody did the wrong thing. That's just another big mistake.
Defense, number 7, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that's Austin Bryant, an outstanding defensive end, but he makes a big mistake here.
And this was a coverage sack. You cannot hit the quarterback when he turns that ball loose. And no reason to.
No. 9 yards and penalties for Clemson.
Yeah, big penalty there. 3-man rush, really good coverage sack. There wasn't anybody open downfield. It's a throwaway. You come up from 2nd and 10, and now you're back to 1st and 10.
Dungey will keep it, and he won't get very far. Number 45, Chris Register out of Greensboro, North Carolina, stopped him for no gain.
Tells you the coaches think that Dungey's healthy, or they wouldn't be running him on a quarterback read option.
Well, Dino Babers told Jen Latta that he's it. He's the guy. He's hurt, but he's going to play.
Changing formation, trying to get mismatches.
More pressure. Dungey flushed. And they don't hit him this time. He was being pursued by Kendall Joseph, who laid off.
We are seeing that the Clemson defense is playing with much more urgency.
It's a holding call against Syracuse. Do you take the penalty here, Mac? Make it second and long?
I back them up.
Yeah,
back them up. You're trying to get a stop. You're trying to get turnovers. Don't give them a 3rd down and 10. Put them where their play selection changes. Now you've got to go screen draw or try to throw it deep.
And that's exactly what Dabo Swinney did. It'll be 2nd down and 20. O'Neal stays in at the tailback position. Dungey, there's a tunnel screen. And Syracuse did not get much with that as Dexter Lawrence was able to stop it. And there's another flag down at the 25-yard line.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, number 6 offense. That penalty is half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
Yeah,
that penalty on the tight end, Pierce.
Back him up. You can't block low downfield.
That's 10 penalties. So that's 19 accepted penalties in this game tonight.
Looks like Clemson's going to turn this one down because they feel like they're good enough with 3rd down and 20.
And one of the best defenses in the country. They're top 10 in 4 categories. Scoring, total yards, yards per play, and sacks. They probably are good enough.
Yeah, we're seeing the Clemson defense we've heard about all year. A lot of intensity. They're tackling well. They're putting pressure on the quarterback. Tough play call for Dino Babers here on 3rd and 20.
And they try to get it all with Ishmael or Phillips. They're 2 great receivers. Dungey, that's exactly the call. There's a bit of a push-off, but no call. No, there comes the flag now. That is Ishmael who pushed off on Fields, and the question is, are they going to call him for it? And they did.
This is an obvious call. He's covered. You've got the back shoulder throw. He can't push him down and then go back for the ball.
That's the second time he has been called for interference tonight.
Anytime you get that much separation as an offensive player, you've probably pushed.
Now we're at the 13-yard line, and they've got to get to the 46, excuse me.
Now field position changes completely. They're probably going to run us. You have to go screen, draw, or sling it deep, Dave, to try to get out of there and hope you get an interference call.
Well,
don't turn it over.
Wouldn't be surprised if we get one.
Clemson came after
in trouble, and he's sacked inside the 5 by Cleveland Farrell.
You can see that Coach Venables talked to him at halftime because he stirred him up, came with a blitz from the boundary. Guys got after it. Kendall Joseph is back there, but you cannot put yourself in long yardage situations and protect against this great dominating front seven of Clemson.
It's 4th and 42. You've got the punter Hoffrichter in the very back of the end zone, so this has to be perfect on the snap. It is. Ray McLeod, fair catch at the 41-yard line. So the Tigers with great field position. Now, take you back to the earlier in the game, late in the second quarter. The starting quarterback for Clemson, Kelly Bryant, is knocked out of the game.
One of the hard decisions you have to make as a coach as well, because he hits his head here. It wasn't the ankle, but he was really struggling on the ankle. You have to make decisions. Is your backup quarterback healthy better than your starting quarterback hurt? And that's a tough decision to make because you really trust the guy that's been leading your team.
So Zarek Cooper took over at the start of this quarter. On the run, he throws, coming back, Renfro with another crazy catch at the 30-yard line. What hands! Jonathan Thomas in coverage. It's a gain of 11.
Yeah, body control and hands are unbelievable for Renfro. It's like he's got stick-em on it or something. He's so flexible, he turns all the way back inside and makes another impossible catch.
Yeah, he is a real athlete, be able to do those kind of things. Feaster on the run. You know, Mac, I saw Clemson in person earlier, and this looks like what I saw before. Now, admittedly, we don't have the quarterback run game here, but now we're seeing them start to, I hate to use this cliche, but pound the rock more than they did in the first half.
Yeah, this is who they are. This is who they want to be. Syracuse talked them out of running the ball in the first half. Now with a young quarterback, they said, let's pound and be balanced.
And that means the offensive line is starting to respond. Feaster again. He'll fight to the 22-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down.
Syracuse doesn't have a lot of depth on defense. So they're trying to keep the Syracuse offense on the bench and pound this undersized defensive front. I wouldn't be surprised here to see them go for 4 downs because they're only 1 for 8 on 3rd down.
We got a timeout. The former wide receiver in Alabama, Dabo Swinney, went about 30 yards down the field at full speed to get that timeout call.
Give Dabo credit for settling his team down with the young quarterback, stirring his defense up, and you can see he's challenging those offensive linemen because they need to be able to run the football the entire fourth quarter.
2:34 to go, and we'll want to remind you what's going on tomorrow. My partner knows all about the Red River Showdown, and many of you do too. 112 coming up. Baker Mayfield and number 12 Oklahoma taking on Texas at the Cotton Bowl. The Sooners are the top in the Big 12 in total offense. The Horns are the best in total defense. That's 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ESPN. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. And of course, you'll be in studio tomorrow. And looking forward to hearing what you have to say about it.
Yeah, I'll be watching every play. This is the reason that players and coaches go to these two schools. It's a border state rivalry. It'll be half and half. The people are so fired up. They go about Wednesday to start partying and getting prepared for the game. Should be a great game tomorrow between two of the best young coaches in the country.
ETN is back in, number 9. Cooper will keep it, spin, and fight for the first down.
Well, what a call. And Cooper's 220.
Yes, 6'2", 220. He is not a little guy.
No, he's a big body, and he's settling down, and he's getting more confidence as this game grows. On third down, keep it in his hands. Don't have the opportunity to fumble.
Pressure up the middle. Cooper gets hit, and he is down by Paris Bennett. Number 30 came in unblocked, and a loss back to the 27.
You got to love Paris Bennett. He's humble, but he's quick and he's tough. He comes on the blitz. He comes free. He slides around the running back and hits the quarterback flush and throws him to the ground. This guy is a very tough, smart, quality football player that helps lead this defense.
Senior out of Detroit. ETN stays in the tailback spot. They give it to him. He just hits those holes so quickly. He'll get to the 21-yard line. Let's go back down to the field and Jen.
Well, Paris Bennett, it does not come natural for him. Paris Bennett, that is. It doesn't come natural for him to lead, you guys. But he's realized that the more successful he's been, the more he has had to get in front of the young guys, tell them how things go. And I was told that he has one of the highest football IQs of anyone that the defensive coaches rather, have ever been around. He self-corrects. If he does it wrong once, he's going to do it right the next time.
Jen, thank you. It's third down and a dozen. Under a minute to go in the quarter.
Keep the right to kick. No turnovers.
To the end zone. Way too high. Renfro was around the 5-yard line. And it's going to be fourth down and 12. And Dabo Swinney makes a little kick with his left foot, kicking motion, and that means he's going to send out Alex Spence.
You have got to give a lot of credit to Brian Ward and this Syracuse defense. They're undermanned. They are fighting their guts out to hang in there and win this football game.
This from 39 with the holder being Will Swinney. Spence.
Not going to fake here, Dave. Too far.
Okay.
Fourth and 12. Fakes off.
Snaps have been a little high tonight. That one looks pretty good. The kick, however, is not. Syracuse holds with 45 seconds to go. Remember the great field position Clemson had at the 41-yard line. That sack by Bennett ruined everything.
Yeah, missed field goals like a turnover. And it really hurts your momentum. You had everything going. Young kicker looks like he's stepping with his plant foot, his left foot, too close to the ball. And he's like my golf swing on a drive, Dave. He's pulling it across his body to the left. So that's a very, very poor technique for him. He's got to do a better job. Gets his head up too soon, and when you get your head up, like in golf, you pull the ball left.
So Eric Dungey takes over. Waning seconds of this third quarter. And that will be the tight end. Ravion Pierce, the junior out of Plantation, Florida, gets a first down and a gain of 10.
That's been their favorite play of the night. Fake your quick screen, act like you're going to block as a tight end or wide receiver, and slip behind them on the wheel route.
Now Dante Strickland is a tailback. He'll get it. Pops up the middle. Strickland breaking a tackle. Breaking another one. He'll get to the 40. They'll be 2 yards, almost 1 yard short of the first down.
The longer Syracuse can hang in this ball game, the pressure goes completely to Clemson.
Strickland had put his shoe back on. We've already seen Dungey throw his shoe in the end zone before a play. Strickland got his on. Dungey, shoulder fake. Can't find anybody open. Now under a lot of pressure. The long throw, incomplete. And that'll be the final play of the quarter. A.J. Terrell in coverage against Steve Ishmael, 8 versus 8. The number 2 team in the country 2 years ago struggled in this dome against Syracuse, and they're struggling again against a fired-up orange squad. Can Syracuse pull the upset, or will the defending national champs show why they're number 2? We start the fourth quarter with the number 2 ranked team in the country in this ACC matchup on ESPN, tied with Syracuse 24-24. 3 weeks ago in Clemson, in Death Valley, they were tied 7-7 with Boston College and one going away. This is a much different environment, and Kelly Bryant wasn't injured. On third and short, Dungey with the keeper and a first down. Kelly Bryant knocked out of this game late second quarter with a concussion. Dabo Swinney telling us at halftime that it was way off the field and Bryant was out. With a screen here. Pierce made one miss. And he'll get it right to the middle of the S before Christian Wilkins brings him down. 7-yard pickup.
When you start looking at the number of plays Syracuse has run, when does the Clemson front start getting tired and ineffective on pass rush?
Oh, fumble on the snap, and they'll just eat it here. That's the smart move to make. Strickland fell on the ball. It's going to take a loss back to the 44 and sets up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, you can't make these mistakes and win. You're 2nd down and short. You're moving the ball. You've got confidence. It was a low snap, but Eric has got to make sure he bends his knees, even though he's a little bit tired, a little bit stiff, and keep his eyes on that ball before he turns his eyes away and drops the snap. Now, Syracuse has had the ball 62 plays to 49 for Clemson, so it's got to be wearing on that Clemson defense.
Pressure here, a lot of pressure coming on Dungy. He throws. Ismail, big flag coming up here. Ismail locked up with Trayvon Mullen, and the interference will go against Clemson. Well, it seems like either Ismail gets a catch or a flag.
Well, he's so big at 6'2", and he runs good routes. He plays good with his hands, and they're fully aware he's got enough deep balls in this game. Mullen just grabs him and throws him to the ground.
So to the 41-yard line of the Tigers we go in a game where Clemson has never led.
The longer this game stays tight, pressure goes to Clemson.
Incomplete. Maximum effort given that time by Phillips. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Tonight, you can see why Ishmael is the #1 receiver in the country. He's strong, he's got great hands, and he has given that Tiger defense a fit.
On the night, see his numbers with 1 touchdown catch when he was isolated against the safety.
He and Phillips are the real deal.
Yep. Look, Tigers coach told us that yesterday. Dungy. And there's Phillips. That's a 1st down, 30-yard line.
And when you're having trouble covering Ishmael and Phillips one-on-one, you have to play zone. When you're playing zone, you have the creases with more people open.
We have a Clemson player down, and that is A.J. Terrell, who made the tackle.
I don't like people booing when a young man goes down.
I'm glad you said that, Matt, because if you didn't, I was going to.
No, I understand the football and the way it's played, but these young men get hurt. Let's take care of them. Let doctors see them.
Watch what happens here to number 8, A.J. Terrell. There. Knee into the helmet. Just an accident of the game, unfortunately. The good news is that he was able to slowly walk off with just a little bit of assistance, and he was escorted directly into the locker room. 1st down 10. Run up the gut by Strickland. He fights for an additional yard. He'll get 3 to the 27.
There is a concern for some defensive coaches that we talk so much about targeting that defensive backs are going to start going too low. So there's got to be a fine line there to find the perfect line for safety.
And people are worried about knee injuries in that situation.
Absolutely.
Too, an increase of that because, okay, I can't hit high. I've got to bring him down somehow.
Absolutely.
Syracuse playing unlike Syracuse with this much slower pace. Dungy. Being chased. He'll throw, and it'll be knocked away and complete around the 20-yard line. So here comes a big 3rd down and 7, but don't be shocked if it gets the 4th down at anything, unless it's really long, to see Syracuse go for it.
Absolutely, because they've gone for it coming into this game 13 of 21 times, but you made a great point. They're wanting that clock to run a little bit now. You're in a game. It's a tight game, so you want to see those ticks going off very quickly. Run, clock, run, I used to say.
11th play of the drive coming up.
Get it done and go home.
Flags are down as Dungy will be sacked. Let's see what the flag is all about. It's thrown at the line of scrimmage on the near sideline. Farrell with another sack. Offside. Look at this. Austin Bryant with another key penalty. And instead of a sack, it's going to be third and very manageable couple of yards.
Well, and that's the second penalty on Bryant, trying to get to the quarterback on third down, but he's had 2 offsides penalties, and he's had a late hit on the quarterback. So this young man's got to wake up here. He's hurting his team because he takes his team from 4th down and 10 along field goal to 3rd and 2.
Strickland. This is going to be close. If they don't get it, there's a high percentage that they will go for it.
Absolutely.
So, in a way, one official has already got the closed fist, which indicates 4th down, and that's exactly what it is. Now, Dungy has gone under center before in these situations, and he does it again. And now he backs him.
Yeah, he saw those big guys in there, man. He said, oh, okay, this don't look so good.
I'd have backed away to Buffalo if I'd seen that. 1 for 1 today on 4th down. Now they go shotgun.
Play of the game.
Strickland. He'll power his way to the 1st down with a push from the quarterback. It was O'Daniel who tried to make the play, but he didn't have good leverage, and it's 1st down for the Orange.
Boy, you like Eric Dungy. Hands the ball off. Dorian steps up and has him there, and Dungy pushes him for the 1st down.
Stay on the ground and get to the 15-yard line behind the junior from Dayton, New Jersey, Nante Strickland.
That's like the Bush push. USC beats Notre Dame. It wasn't legal to push him in then. They've made it legal now. Great play by the quarterback.
More flags. This one.
Full start offense. All 11 players never got set before the snap. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
All 11. You don't hear that one often.
That just meant that Eric didn't allow enough time to get set. If it's one guy, you can blame him, but when you're going so fast and you're a little tired with the pressure in this game with 11 minutes left, let him get set.
11 penalties per side. Tyrone Perkins is checked in now, number 26, out of Glenhead, New York, home of Stratomatic, and he's a junior.
Clemson is coming from the boundary.
A lot of pressure here. Throws toward Perkins, who makes the catch, and the turf monster got him at the 20.
Boy, what a great defensive call. They had the pressure from the boundary, and then Kendall Joseph, who runs about as fast as Strickland, was all over him when he had the flare out to the field.
So you're back to 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 12.
Try to get half of it, then you can make a decision on 4th down. Clemson coming again, same blitz from the boundary.
Wide open at the top of your screen. And Phillips will get, Butler will get cut down short of the 1st down, but he gets to about the 11. They only need 3 here, and they're going to bring out the kicker, Cole Murphy.
You want the lead, you put the pressure on Clemson with the lead with 10 minutes left to go. He's not going to fake this one because he sent him out there too quickly. Usually if you fake it, you had to tell somebody.
He's inside the 48-48.
Needs points.
Well, you think Clemson's missed 2. They could have 30.
Got to protect.
Not much pressure. No trouble that time for Cole Murphy, the senior from California. Put Syracuse back in the lead with 9:41 to go in the 4th quarter. The number 2 team in the country has never led, and they trail again by 3. Well, here is the Newhouse School of Public Communication at Syracuse University, one of the best broadcast journalism programs in the country. Here's our own Sean McDonough, among many ESPNers who have made it out of Syracuse into Bristol. Sean, of course, we call the Monday Night Football game with John Gruden coming up. So here we go again. With Syracuse kicking off with the lead. Last kick went out of bounds. This one is driven deep. And this time, ETN will take a knee. So it'll be a touchback to the 25-yard line for the redshirt freshman quarterback, Zarek Cooper. Tonight, after Washington State and Cal on ESPN, we have SportsCenter at night with Neil Everett and Linda Cohn from LA. Highlights from that game, from our game, ALCS Game 1 between the Yankees and the Astros, the NHL, NBA preseason, and everything else. SportsCenter at night also streaming, of course, on the ESPN app. Little pitch here to Feaster. And Feaster to the 35-yard line, almost. They're going to say he's just short of it. He'll gain 9. Tackled there by Rodney Williams.
Yeah, smart play by Cooper. He gets to the corner. He sees that they can make 8-9 yards. He pitches it on out. Impressed with Feaster. 220 pounds, sprint champion. Just a sophomore.
You got Adam Choice now coming in. Feaster leads for the moment anyway. 7 carries, 57 yards. The choice, quick throw, Kane with the catch. He stood up immediately and ridden out of bounds, but it'll be a first down for the Tigers. Dowell's on the stop.
That's where the confidence that Clemson's built up over the years is really valuable. They think they're going to win. Syracuse isn't sure right now. Dino Babers is trying to get them to a point they think they can win. Clemson knows that they're supposed to win.
Cooper is 8 of 11 for 68 yards in relief of Kelly Bryant, who was knocked out of this game literally. That's going to be a very short gain, if any gain at all, for Choice. 2nd and 10.
Syracuse defense is playing so hard tonight. They're tackling in space. They've given up a couple of big plays, but they are playing their hardest.
Feaster back in. Tunnel screen, Renfro taken off. Renfro's got some speed, and he will get into Cuse territory at the 45-yard line, tackled by Frederick.
Caught the screen, planted his foot like a veteran, turned north and south, and turns it into a first down on 2nd down and 10.
He has 5 catches for 65 yards.
Guy won a national championship. He's not going back down in this game.
In trouble, gets away, has some room. Oh no, tripped up. What a play by Slayton. It looked like Cooper had some room to at least get back to the line of scrimmage, and Slayton dumps it for a 4-yard loss.
Folks, Slayton is 6'4", 315 pounds after playing all night. What quickness and speed this guy has. He is the best defensive lineman on the Syracuse football team.
Pressure. Cooper gets rid of it quickly. Caught by Kane on the other sideline. He's trying to fight for an additional yard or two and is thrown out of the 42 by Foster and by Frederick. They're going to need 7 here on 3rd down.
And if you're Clemson at this point with 6:42 left, this is 2-down territory. Try to get half of it. Then you can go for 4th down if you need it.
Too high, not even close. 2 of 11 on 3rd down tonight for Clemson. So Syracuse's defense against 3rd down continues to be remarkable.
Yeah, because of the play call and the incomplete pass, you're not going to go for 4th down and 6. You're going to try to punt them down and hold them because you've got too far to go. It's also not a very good fake area. So I think you punt this one down inside the 10 and depend on your defense to get the ball back.
Well, it's one of the best in the country. Syracuse runs their defense off, finally puts their punt team out there. And Spires going to throw it down deep. And it's incomplete. They did go for the fake and it failed. They sent Tanner Muse down, the safety, and it didn't work. And Dabo Sweeney is unloading on his punter right now. They're watching the replay on the big board. It's not going to turn out any better when you look up there either.
No. That's a tough one. Great play for Syracuse. Takes momentum back.
Allstate is proud to be part of the team that comes together to do good by contributing to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. Syracuse takes over after the failed fake at the 41-yard line, their own. And they'll go up the gut and pick up 6 solid yards from Dante Strickland.
Yeah, Clemson's defense has been out there a long time. The last time Syracuse had the ball, 16 plays, 68 yards on their drive. 6 minutes and 4 seconds, 30-yard field goal. We only have 5 minutes and 51 seconds left, and Syracuse is going to slow it down and allow that clock to run. But they've still got to try to win the game. They can't get conservative here. That's not who they are.
This will be their 73rd play. They normally like to get as close to 100 as is possible. Stay on the ground. Strickland against that tough defensive line is going to be stopped 2 yards short. There's a gigantic 3rd and 2 call. Dexter Lawrence in there, preseason All-American, along with his running buddy, Christian Wilkins. They go quickly this time, and it should be a first down, and is. So they use the tempo to their advantage that time. After all that slowness, all of a sudden they go very quickly and get the first down. Coming up following our game, Washington State and Cal. That game will be played, and then we are going to have on ESPN3 and on the ESPN app coverage of coaches' press conferences, both of them, and who knows what else.
4:50 left. Coaches have a 4-minute offense, and that's when you're at the end of the ball game. Use the clock, try to keep the ball, and not have a kick to finish this game.
Dungy will keep it this time, and a late pitch to the 45 and to the 44, and he stayed in bounds. Irvin Phillips did the one smart thing there. He did not get out of bounds. We'll do something smart, too, and talk to Ed Enberg. Yeah, we do, brother. Thank you so much. Now Syracuse going back to being slow again here on 2nd down. They've run the ball 4 straight times on this drive, and no need really to do anything else but until Clemson can stop them. Dungy looks like he wanted to pitch back. Now he's in trouble, and now he is down. Sacked again. Once again, it's 99. And also 42, Christian Wilkins. Cleveland Farrell has been spectacular for the Tigers defense tonight. It's 3rd and 11.
That was a mistake by Eric Dungy. As good as he's played tonight, that can be a forward pass. It's the shovel play up underneath. He wasn't there. Throw it into the ground and then go back and play 2nd down and 6.
You saw on the replay that Christian Wilkins got in that passing lane in front of Strickland. Play clock at 10.
Huge 3rd down. Clemson's got to get off the field. And you don't want to give Syracuse, they're going to let the clock run down, call timeout. Don't let Syracuse get close enough to go for a 4th and 2 or 3.
Each team down to the wire with 3:08 to go. Clemson and Syracuse 2 timeouts each. Our score in time sees a 3:08 to go. Syracuse leads the number 2 team in the nation, 27-24, facing 3rd down and 11. Clemson usually defeats unranked teams. They did not defeat Pitt at home last year, but ultimately it did not cost them in the playoffs. Dante Strickland is the tailback. Dungy under pressure. The throw caught, sticks, first down. Steve Ishmael.
These guys are the real deal in the passing game. Phillips and Ishmael, 2 of the best receivers in the country, are showing why tonight. And that's a pressure throw by Dungy and really good protection. Now you let the clock run. Game still not near over. Clemson has 2 timeouts. They have to make a stop here.
When do you start using the timeout for Clemson?
I always used them under 2 minutes. I wanted to save them till right at the end. They've got to stop the run. They're going to win this game. They've got to step up and stop the run, strip a ball. They have to be aggressive right now. I'm afraid the defense is worn out.
And Clemson uses one of those timeouts.
And that's because they're not stopping the run. You wouldn't normally use it this early, but you cannot allow 5 yards on first down in the running game and letting Syracuse get ahead of the chains.
While we have this timeout, let's take a look at our weekend menu served to you by Zaxby's. On ABC tomorrow, the Canes try to remain undefeated as they take on Georgia Tech. That'll be a tough game in South Florida. Arkansas, Alabama on ESPN at 7:15 Eastern and at 8 o'clock at ABC. USC against Utah, Pac-12 matchup. Here tonight on your opening act of the Friday doubleheader, we've got Washington State Cal following us, and we're sitting on the possibility of an unbeaten team being knocked from those ranks. Clemson has never led in this game. They trail now by 3. Mac, let's review that play that got them the first down and put them in great position to win here if they get on the first down.
Well, it shows you the trust that Coach Babers has in his quarterback. He fakes the run, which controls the rush. He's got one-on-one with an older guy and a young receiver. First down.
Stop the run on this play. Strickland coming to the game with 298 touches and no fumbles, and he fumbled tonight and was returned for a touchdown by Tanner Muse. So Clemson's offense has only managed 17 points. They've had 2 missed field goals as well.
And for Clemson to win, they have to get a stop or a turnover and at least force a kick, because then they have a chance to take it the length of the field and score, because they'd be down by 6.
13 to snap it. Strickland with 78 yards on the ground.
They're going to snap it with 3 seconds left and try to use all of the clock.
Mo Neal is now the tailback, number 21. They need 3 for the first down. We have whistles. We have a flag. We have delay of game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
You cannot have delay of game. You just can't do it. It costs you your field position when you run the ball. The clock stops. That's an awful mistake by an older quarterback. It's like a timeout. It just gave Clemson a timeout and also moves you 5 yards back, so now you're third down and 8. Changes your play selection.
219 yards and penalties, 23 flags accepted tonight in this game combined.
Clemson has to get a stop here and make them kick it a field goal.
Don't forget, following our game on ESPN3 and the ESPN app, we'll have post-game coverage of this game as Dungy takes off trying to get the first down, and he stretches for the chains. It is close, and I believe we're going to get a timeout by Clemson. That's their final timeout.
Great call by Dino Babers again.
They call a first down. It is a first down.
They pull the backside guard and tackle. They come through. He looks like he's in a drop back mode. He protects the ball, moves it down for the first down. What a call, what a run. Syracuse has played one heck of a game tonight. That
extra turn by Dungy, in the opinion of the officials, just enough for the first down. Again, following this game on the app and on ESPN3, we'll have press conferences from both coaches and other aspects of the postgame. On ESPN, you'll have Washington State and Cal. And not surprisingly, Max, the replay booth has asked for a longer look at this spot.
Yes, that's a game changer, so they've got to look at it. And you've got your offensive coordinator upstairs now looking at a chart saying you can take a knee with a certain amount of seconds left. They'd probably have one more run, and then they take a knee to finish the game because Clemson has no more timeouts.
A minute and 37 seconds away from an upset that is a seismic one in college football. Remember, it was last year Syracuse beat Virginia Tech at the big locker room celebration that everybody saw all around on their phones and on their laptops. And I can't imagine what the celebration is going to be like in a new locker room, by the way, that they've got a nice spiffy one. what the celebration will be if they can hang on here.
And right now, Dino Babers has got a 4th down call, because if this review does say that they're short, he's got to decide, do I go field goal to make it a 6-point game, or do I go for 4th down and 1 that could be stopped? So he's still, that mind is churning right now.
You know what I'm going to ask you? What would you do?
I would go for the 1st down and get the game over. But it's easy. I'm up here. I'm not down there with a lead over the number 2 team in the country that changes your program if you win this ball game.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called at the 1st down.
Clemson came in with 12 straight road wins, 11 straight wins overall. And there is that last timeout that they're going to take. They held up the enforcement of that timeout while the replay was being looked at. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
And what they're telling them now is our only chance to win is a strip.
Yeah.
You've got to hit a ball and knock it loose. And they're also telling them to keep your composure here at the end, because we don't want a penalty that might keep you from playing the next time we play. But you got to get a strip. You got to touch a ball. I think we'll see Syracuse run the ball one more time and then probably start taking a knee, because there's no more timeouts for Clemson.
But you have a 1st down here. Couldn't you take 4 knees or 3 knees and put this thing in?
You can, and he may. It looks like now he is going to take a knee.
Yeah, I think you can do this, and the math favors you.
It's a little unique when you're a shotgun team that your quarterback is up under the center some, but you still put him up under the center, and you have to get the proper snap.
But the thing is, you do this, Mac, all the stuff about stripping and all that, that is, pardon the expression, stripped away.
Yep.
You can't get to him.
Game's over.
Yep. You're watching the final seconds tick away from an undefeated season from Clemson. But they won a national championship with 1 loss last year. And for Syracuse and for Dino Babers in his 2nd season here, trying to get this city excited and his campus excited, this will go a long way.
Yeah, this changes your program. This is an unbelievable win.
And you see Dungy running over towards Sean Lewis, one of the offensive coaches, and he takes an extra few steps back just to make sure. We're at 50 seconds.
One more snap. It'll be a little crazy in that dressing room. And what Clemson's got to do is go regroup. They've got a great football team. They didn't do the things they needed to do tonight to win the game.
They've got a bye week coming up. They've got a chance to get their starting quarterback, Kelly Bryant, healthy. He was knocked out of this game with a concussion. And for Syracuse, party time. The upset, pulled by the Orange. They defeat Clemson 27-24. Let's get down to the field. Jen Latta standing by with Dino Babers in a moment. And we're trying to find Jen and make sure she's okay. as many people have just spilled out of the stands. So Jen will be with us in a moment, talking to Dino Babers. I can't see either one of them in this crowd right now.
Nothing feels better than a huge upset over a top-ranked team at your home, sharing the celebration with your fans on the field.
What was your first one that you remember? When you were in North Carolina, you might have had an upset, right? What was the first big one?
Remember, we beat a really good Georgia Tech team, and the students tore the goalpost down. In fact, I got in trouble. I said, I enjoyed that so much, I want to see it again. I got a call from the chancellor that said, let's don't be encouraging students to tear down goalposts.
And on the other end of it, of course, it'll be a long trip back to South Carolina, but a chance to rebuild physically and mentally for this team. They'll have 15 days before they take the field against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Dabo Swinney is one of the most positive guys I've ever seen. He'll pick them up in the dressing room tonight and say, we've got to get better, we got to do things better, but let's go back to work. And they lost to Pittsburgh last year and won a national championship. So we can't say that they're out of the race for sure.
That is absolutely the case.
Dino Babers, this bunch may never make it to the dressing room.
Well, I don't think the fans are going to let he or Eric Dungey make it.
And they won't care.
No, I think they're going to be perfectly okay with whatever time they finally make it back to their lockers. And really, you know what? For Dino Babers, here's a great chance to connect with your fans literally and figuratively. And Jen is ready with Dino. Jen, go ahead.
We have Dino Babers here. He is dressing like all of his players. Coach, he's soaking it all in. Coach, what does this mean for your players?
You know, I'm just so happy for the young men. They've been here so long, and to give them a win like this over the number 2 ranked team in the country, they believe, they had faith, and I'm just so proud of them and the football players.
You told us there's no such thing as pretty good in your program. Can you give something to describe this word?
We don't use that word. What we say is we don't settle. So we're not going to settle in our program. We're going to strive to be the best we can be. We're going to give the glory where it belongs. And aren't these fans great? Look at these fans. It's the Loud House. It's the Loud House.
Step over here and talk to the quarterback. You were playing hurt. Where did you want to go? Doesn't help in that game.
I'm never going to give up, and it's the guys around me. So it's like I love this, but it's all the guys around me. The defense did a great job today. All that. I can't hear you.
What does it mean for your program to win this game against the number 2 team in the country?
I mean, it's big, but at the end of the day, everyone here, the only people that believed in us were our team. That's all that matters. I mean, we're 4-3. We should be 7-0. That's what we think. So I love these guys. I'm always going to battle for these guys, and it's awesome to be orange. So,
Guys, back up to you.
Jen, thank you very much. Stay safe down there. It's pretty crazy, but an incredible win for Syracuse to defeat Clemson, the number 2 team in the nation, 27-24. Clemson never had a lead in this game. You got a choice here. If you want to watch a little more football, we don't blame you. Washington State and Cal is going to be a great one on ESPN. If you'd like to stay and work around this reaction with us, ESPN3 and ESPN app, we will have post-game reaction, Clemson and Syracuse locker rooms and coaches. The final score for the final time, Syracuse over Clemson, 27-24. Coming up next on ESPN, Washington State and California. For Mac and Jen, Dave Lamont and our crew saying so long from Syracuse.